Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Into the Pit. I'm very privileged to have Nishante Simon here. She is a light worker, and she's also skilled in a lot of various areas. And let me tell you, she is a big personality. I think you're going to enjoy listening to her. So we're going to get to know her right now. So Shante, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello, and thank you for having me here. I greatly appreciate it. Just FYI, I'm nervous as fuck, but it's okay. We're going to get through it, okay? A little bit about me. I am 34 years old. I live in the Midwest. I am not from here. I am not from here at all. I come from a couple different galaxies. I've been a couple different places, had a lot of lifetime experiences, not just here in this life, but in other lives as well. I am an intuitive medium, so I can speak to those who have crossed over. I also read energy. So like your aura, the little color that be around you that shows what's emanating from you. I do that. I also read tarot cards. I also do guided meditations, and I just recently, got my certification to be a certified health and life coach. So if you need somebody to help you talk through your life bullshit, I'll help you. I got you. Come on, let's make goals happen. Let's take those dreams that you have and turn them into motherfucking reality, okay? Because it's all about making a choice and saying, this is what I want and going after it.
But you know what? I have a positivity show that I have life coaches on all the time. Maybe you should come on that one too.
Okay, look, we'll set that up so we can come give some skills and some tips and some thrills over there too.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. So, when you say you talk to loved ones that have passed on, are you able to talk to them? Like, I mean, like if I said I wanted to talk to my brother, you'd be able to pull him up just like that?
So if you have somebody that you want to talk to specifically, yes, as long as you have their name. So what I do, because every medium is different as far as how they go about getting to the other side in order to connect. Getting to the other side is all the same, but how people do it is different. For me, I don't have no, I see dead people. I don't have no sixth sense shit going. Like, I don't see ghosts just walking past me. Like, none of that happens. For me, what I do is I go into a meditative state because I honestly don't like having to be out in public and just getting all of that energy coming to me. It can become an overload. So for me, I will go into a meditative state and I would ask my guides to come and be with me. After they're with me, then I step into the other side.
Oh, wow.
In the meditation, I step to the other side and then I call on whoever it is that you're wanting to bring forward. So like I said, if you had somebody specific, I would specifically ask for them and not anybody else. Versus say you don't know, say, I want to get in contact with somebody, but I'm just okay for whoever comes through. Then I would still take that same process, put myself into that meditative state and then step over. But I would ask only for the spirits to come by that are meant for your highest good right now and that have a message that you need to receive. Not what you want. I don't give two flying fucks about what you want to talk about in regards to connecting to these spirits, because that at the end of the day is just like subpar human shit. They have more for you than just the, are you okay on the other side? Do you see what it is that I'm doing? Yes, they see what the fuck you doing all day, every day. Like, they saw you over there messing with that dude that they've been trying to get up out your circle and you keep taking your ass back over there. Yeah, they saw that.
So how long does it take for you to go into a meditative state?
That doesn't take long. I'd say like 5 minutes. So like for me, like before I do it, first off, I say a prayer over myself.
Uh-huh.
Got to protect myself. I don't need no entities coming over here doing no insidious type shit with me. I don't have time for none of that, right? So I say a prayer over me first. And after I say my prayer over myself, I say a prayer over the person that I'm reading for. Whoever my sitter is, I say a prayer over you as well. Because I don't need no negative entities coming into your peripheral and then I catch them motherfuckers and they try to come up over here. Because now bang, bang, shot, shot. I got to get physical and the spiritual. That's possible. You know, I can help to move that stuff out the way. But if I'm giving a reading, I want for whoever is meant for your highest good to come through. Nothing else.
Oh, cool. Well, I was reading your website, and I also noticed that you get rid of negative energy. And if somebody feels like they have a curse on them or they're running to bad luck.
So basically, it's a matter of realigning your energy and clearing whatever may be attached to you, because a lot of people carry a lot of weight and a lot of baggage from other people that ain't even got shit to do with them. And so my job then is to help make your shoulders a whole lot lighter, to make your burden a whole lot lighter, to take all that stress that you have and clear that out. So basically, you have a spiritual reset. Okay. I need to make sure that you are to a point to where you know what you're feeling is you and it's not anybody else. You know the reason that you want to cry is because you are feeling this, not because that other person wants you to feel that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, when I was married the first time, my wife's aunts were curanderas, and I really believe that they had put a curse on me.
And 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, they didn't like me. I was well, they're Hispanic and I'm white, so they didn't like that.
It was a whole difference from Jump Street.
Right. So I had a few things not going my way. I tried to get along with all of them. I don't know why they didn't like me. They just didn't like me. So, but
and
I don't know.
That's not your bag to carry. Shit, right. The fuck.
I mean, honestly, I don't feel like it's still there, but there is something that's still holding me back, and I don't know what it is. I'm like on the precipice of being successful, but yet something is keeping me from getting there. Are you able to tell what that is?
So, yes, that is something that I would be able to dig in a little bit deeper for you. Yes. In regards to there being negative energy from other family members, even when you separate from those people, there are still energetic bonds and cords that connect you, especially when a person in all actuality liked you. But because of the circumstance, I had to put on a mask and make it seem like I didn't too much care for you and I would never care for you. But legit, at the end of the day, you was the best thing popping for our family. Makes sense? So with that, first off, do these people still think about you? And do they still have a hate towards you just as a person? Because it's not per se your personality or anything, because your personality is very accommodable. You can get along with people easily. It's just a matter of if you gonna catch my drift or not, if you gonna be able to pick up on my sarcasm and not take that shit too serious, right?
Right.
So with that, I definitely feel that there are still people who like to talk shit about you. And because they talk shit about you and because that cord is still there, it's not as thick as it was before. I don't see the connection between you and them being thick. It's like a little, like, think of like some sewing string, like that, real thin. But no matter how thin it is, energy still goes through that. So you're still then able to feel the effects from that. So what then I would do is help you go into the space to where we cut that shit. Okay. What you will not be doing is sitting over here throwing motherfucking bad vibes at my ass and just think that I'm just gonna be taking it like some little potato bitch. That's not happening. No. We would then go into a meditation. I would take you into a meditation, basically get you centered to where you are able to see yourself and you're able to see the cords that come from you. All of our cords come from our stomach area. It comes from our solar plexus and then leads us out to the ethers of the world and leads us out to those people that we end up connecting to. So basically, it's like going to have surgery. I'm a spiritual surgeon. We're going to go in and we're going to find that cord and we're going to clip it. We're going to clip everything that's attached to it. If we got to burn the motherfucking ends on that bitch, then that's what we're going to do. But we are going to exercise it to a point to where they are no longer bonded to you. And every time that they do speak up your name, it's going to turn around and come back to them. Don't use my name in any negative way. You're gonna regret the day that you said, oh, Shantae did whoop the whoop whoop whoop. Oh, Jeremy did whoop the whoop. Yeah, no. No. So yes. Wow. That's how I would solve that for you.
You're so awesome.
Look, I'm just a little regular little girl from Illinois in the country out here with all these goddamn cornfields and soybean plants and shit.
I said from the beginning you had a big personality. You really do. It makes it enjoyable to talk to you. And then the light work. So explain that to me.
So in regards to how I view light work, it's basically I'm walking around knowing that first off, I'm energy before I'm anything. Before I was this human form, I was energy. And that energy, like you said, that's a personality. That shit's big as fuck, okay? Big as hell. When I think about light work, I think about being able to not only see the light within myself, but being able to look at others and see that light within them, no matter how small it is or no matter how big it is, but being able to see that and connect with them. Because at the end of the day, we are all here to connect with one another. Yes. We're all here to gain knowledge from one another. Without me talking to you, there's shit that I would never find out. Just the same as you talking to me, there might be shit that you wouldn't have never known if you wouldn't have connected with me. So being a light worker, I have no issue with connecting with anybody from any walk of life, even if you speak another language, because even in that, we still have similarities. I might not understand what it is that you're fucking saying to me, but I understand your body language. Okay. When you get to talking like this, oh yeah, she feeling jazzy about that. She really feels passionate about that. And you just take it as that instead of putting all the titles and all of the, well, you know, if you're this kind of person, then you do this, that, and the third. Fuck all that. At the end of the day, you're a light, and I'm just trying to help you make your light brighter. With the love and the energy that I have in myself, I want to help pour that onto somebody else to help brighten your light, for you to know you don't have to be dim in this world, and you don't have to be a victim of circumstance to this world. It's all about what you are willing to see within yourself and then what you're willing to create. As a light worker, we go around trying to help motherfuckers see they goddamn light.
I'm going to ask you a question. Are you connecting to me?
Am I? Being that we're talking, that's already there, yes.
Because when somebody is reading me, I get butterflies in my stomach because I've got those butterflies. So I wonder if she's trying to connect with me.
Look, I connect based off of my energy. So if you are a good vibe, my love and my energy is already going to connect. So then that way, as we're talking, our conversation flows, because as I have a thought, you're going to have something that piggybacks off of that, and then keep it going in that light. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So that euphoric feeling, I always know, and I've got it. So like, okay, this makes me feel even better.
I have been told that I give off a very calming effect, a very loving and nurturing effect. And I'm like, well, I'm a Bob. I mean, I hope I'm motherfucking kind and nurturing and shit.
It just comes natural.
It comes natural, but I've had that even before I had kids. I had love, care, and compassion for people before I had my children, just because I believe that that's how we're supposed to operate. Like I said in the beginning, I don't believe that I'm from here. And I truly don't, because the way that I operate ain't like regular human shit. Like, people would normally have their guard up. Like, I'll tell you, I'll give you what it is that you're asking for, but I'm still going to have a guard up against me.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Don't put no walls up with me, because I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to harm you in any ways. If anything, I want to love on you as much as possible, so that when you leave my presence, you go take that love and you pass it on to somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. You make sure you continue to love on everybody else as much as I loved on you.
Do you do past life regression?
I can. Yes. Am I comfortable doing it? Sometimes. It is something that I do have the ability to be able to see and pull out, like, what your life was before here, whether or not you were a man or a woman, like where you stayed at, what your occupation and shit like that was. That is possible. Yes.
I've found out that the reason why I feel so strongly about the 1800s, apparently I was alive twice during that period.
So in the beginning of it, and then like my first mind says 1840-ish.
That's kind of what I got the last time I talked to someone.
Okay. Look, as long as it's in the motherfucking ballpark, okay? Because I feel like 1840-ish. I definitely feel early 1800s, like we still got buggies and carriages going on. The early part, I more so feel like you were a young boy. I don't feel like you were able to make it to adult life in that first set. I don't feel like you were able to make it to adult life. I just see a little boy with the little suspenders on, the little shorts and the shoes and stuff, walking around with the bowl haircut that the mama done gave. That's what I see. That's the beginning. 1840. I also feel a male in that period as well, but definitely different circumstances. The little boy kind of lived a more simple life. This older man was more so prestigious. He had a lot of authority to him. So I don't know if he would have been somebody who would have been like a ranger of sorts, like basically like a peacekeeper of sorts. But it was somebody who we would have looked up to, this person, and would have been well known in the small little area that you were in. Definitely real dusty. So if not northwest in that area, then maybe like Kansas area, but not in the Midwest. You're not nowhere in the Midwest and nowhere over on East Coast, but I feel like northwestern area.
My grandfather was from Nebraska, and I didn't even find that out until after he passed away.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Did grandfather have siblings?
Yes.
Okay. That would make sense.
A few.
That makes sense, because as soon as you said that, the first thing I felt was you were a sibling. You weren't like a child. It was more like you were a sibling. That's cool.
It is cool. It's amazing what I'm learning about myself.
Look, the things that you uncover about yourself, we as humans, we as energetic beings have many motherfucking layers to us. And once you start peeling back the layers, baby, it gets sweeter and sweeter. Sometimes it could be a lot to take on, especially if you had a past life that had trauma in it. Like I have a friend who had a past life where in many of her lifetimes, she was kept captive. She was kept locked up. She was kept locked away. She wasn't able to express herself in any of those lives. Mm-hmm. And in this life that she's in now, she has that opportunity to break that, because she is now learning how to have that voice and not be scared and timid to use it.
Past life regression that I did, so maybe it's 3 lives instead of 2, but the past life regression that I did was more towards the end of the 1800s.
Okay.
And as a child, I got hit by a cart, which caused pain in my, damage to my back.
Right.
So it's kind of repeated itself because I have a disease in my spine that deteriorates the bone.
Do you have any physical markings around your back?
Oh, I do now.
Okay. But beforehand, back was clear like a baby's ass, correct?
Besides a few moles here and there. As far as I know.
Okay. I only asked because my daughter had a past life before, and I don't know what type of ratchet ass shit she was doing, but baby, somebody took the back of a hammer, the little ball part of it, and clocked the ass in the back of the head. Okay.
Oh, no.
So I got her hair cut. First time she got her hair cut. And I noticed after we cut her head, she had a dent. She had a little dip.
No way.
In the back of her head. She wants to say hello. This is the child with the dip in her head. Now, mind you, the baby done fell a couple times in her early life, okay? Ooh, shit, the baby done fell off the goddamn couch. But she ain't never hit her head anywhere that I can remember that would be there. Mm-hmm. Even her growing up, I don't remember that ever being there. But seeing that now, it's like
that's a trip. That's a trip.
Who the hell was you hurting that they said they had to take you out with the back of the hammer? Not the front of the hammer, but the back of the hammer. And they did it behind you, which makes me feel like they knew you and they didn't want you to see who it was that did it.
Mm. Wow. Now, talk about you. You do predictions as well.
Am I able to foresee some shit? Yes, but I always take future readings in a context of what are you doing here and now and what might you do that might alter that timeline? Because every choice that we make will change where our life and where that timeline runs to. Because there are a plethora of options and ways that we can go in life. There's a plethora of ways that shit can fucking play out. And it's just a matter of what we are doing. So like, say I was to give some future predictions in regards to where the state of our world is going, the state of our nation is going. Yes, that is something that I can do. I would use my cards to help me with that. I wouldn't just go off of my base intuition. I would want the help of my cards to help me to then clear out any details that we need to be cleared with that.
Well, while we're talking, would you be opposed to doing a card reading?
No, look, I have them here.
Sweet.
Oh.
Sweet.
We have these. So these are angel tarot. Okay.
Okay.
So just I feel like this deck, I feel like first off, all of my decks have personalities. I have multiple decks. All of my decks have personalities. This deck right here is the first deck that I ever started reading from. I started reading cards back in 2016 is when I started and have been going ever since. But my angel deck, I take their personality as they go with anybody. They're for everybody, especially people who don't know anything about tarot readings or card readings or oracle readings or anything like that. I like to start folks out with the angel deck. Let me warm you up to this energy. And every time I do a reading, that's on point. It hits to where it needs to hit. It covers what it needs to cover. And they're real nice with the people, okay? They gonna give you love, okay? My Starseed cards, okay?
Uh-huh.
These right here are more so for the people who know they have abilities, know that they're not from here, and know that they have a different mission set for their life. So I would use these for people who have already had readings before, who are already in tune with themselves and just kind of need more so of a confirmation on what they've already picked up and received. Okay.
Gotcha.
Then I have my Egyptian deck.
Ooh.
Okay. My Egyptian deck don't play no games with no fucking body. Okay. They don't give two flying fucks about your feelings. You got a question that you're coming to ask them. They're giving you all the detail, raw and uncut.
Wow.
Take it how you need it, right? Then I have my Native American deck. Because I have Native American on both sides of my family, I definitely love tapping in with them because they're more grounded in the earth. They're a whole lot more grounded and they give you practicality. So basically, I don't have to read in between the lines with them. They're able to tell me exactly what it is that's going on in my current and then help me to move forward.
Oh, wow. Cool. But, you know, I have on both sides as well. And I didn't find that out until years later. But I always knew on my dad's side that we were Cherokee. Right. But I had no idea on my mom's side we had Cherokee as well. So I'm right. Not sure what that makes me. But
well, I mean, if you got it on both sides, I mean, that about damn near make you whole, don't it?
Well, my dad had the features and he had the dark skin.
Right.
My brother had even more prevalent features, but he was very light skinned.
Right.
So I'm kind of in between, I guess.
Look, you have it. You got the jaws, okay? Your jaws is very Indian popping, okay? But definitely knowing what tribe you come from also helps you connect with how you work spiritually and energetically, because every tribe had their own practice and their own culture about them, especially when it came to being connected to the spiritual realms and stuff.
That's pretty cool. Also, I read that you do a class. What's the Ascension class? Is that what it is?
I wouldn't say a class on ascension. I would say it's more so a class on meditate. I give classes on meditations on how to fucking meditate because a lot of people don't know how to shut their fucking brain off and tell it, hey, shut up. I'm about to do something right now. I need to concentrate and I need to stay awake. I hear a lot of people say, I tried meditating, but I go to sleep. Like I'll try listening to it for 5 minutes and I'll go to sleep. And I'm like, well, yeah, that happens in the beginning. But that's why when you are starting to practice on those things, it's great for you. Now, not everybody has the opportunity, but it's great for you to find somebody who you are able to connect with, and then they're able to sit in that space with you. Because doing a meditation with somebody else versus doing it by yourself offers a whole nother experience. And you can come back out of that meditation with more information versus you doing it by yourself. Now, I do offer classes for that. The Ascension Oracle, that's basically like another form of doing cards. So it's basically cards that I have that have essential oils that go with it. So if I were to use my Ascension Oracle deck, I would only use that on like a once a month purpose, only because it gives you an overview of where you're at, what you are currently working on in regards to your spirit and where it is that you're needing to go. And so with that, if I were to pull a card, the cards have a number that's associated with it that goes to an oil. That oil is basically used as a magnify your reading. So say you were having issues with your dreams, retaining your dreams and being able to come back to the here and now and bring those dreams with you, in that card is what I pulled. If we were in person, I'm going to read you this card and give you everything that goes with it. But after we're done, I'm giving you this oil, okay? Depending on where you're at, if you take one drop, you already are able to kind of pull things through. You just need a little booster. Versus I give you a whole shot of this oil, you in crisis mode. You need everything that you can get from this, and you want it to do its work. You want it to come through clear and do its work, and then help you to acclimate to the new vibration and the new energy that you're needing to set yourself to.
So do you help people come into their abilities?
Yes. I very much like doing that, because once upon a time, nobody told me shit about the fact that I was able to do any of this shit. And people knew, like people in my family knew, but everybody was afraid to talk about it. Everybody was afraid of what that might bring. And so instead of telling me, hey, Shantae, you're a little different. Just want to let you know, when you be feeling people energy, it's not just, you being soft and you being sensitive, like it's legit, you're sensitive, and that's real. So I love being able to help people, because I feel like nobody should have to go through life trying to figure that shit out. How many people have lived on the earth and done been through some shit and got a script that they can share with the next person, so they ain't got to go through the same bullshit?
My abilities, which I haven't started practicing at all, is auditory. So I hear spirits, and it's happened a few times, but as I said, I never practiced it. I just recently kind of thought about getting into it, so I think I want.
I mean, it's definitely a roller coaster ride. I don't know if you've seen the meme with the little boy. They put him on the zip line, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing! Ah, I'm fucking scared! Oh, this is fun!" Like legit, my experience with growing spiritually has been this shit's fucking crazy, but this shit is amazing, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I would not change anything about it for the world, because I feel like it makes me that much more greater of a person and an energy within myself, to be able to see that within myself and then say, hey, look, you can get this too. Come here, let me show you real quick. Have you ever looked in your eyes and seen people from a past life and people from your present life? Let me show you something.
So whenever I'm in certain places and I visualize how it would have been, 100 years ago or 150 years ago, it's not just my imagination. I'm actually visualizing it.
The fact that you can awaken yourself and you realize that you're seeing this, yes. That's just like being in your dreams. Most people don't realize that we wake up in our dreams and we actually become active in the dream state. That's the same as you going into a meditation and being active in that meditation and stepping over to the side of spirit and then interacting there. It's the same thing. It's just a matter of the route you take to get there.
Awesome. Okay. Would you be willing to do a reading on me?
Yes. If you are ready, I am ready.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. You want to do the angel deck or the starseed deck?
Well, I've had readings before.
Okay.
So you probably want to go to the starseed.
Well, I would use the starseeds, but I also feel like with that, you might be able to find out a whole lot more. Just in regards to where your soul and where your energy kind of emanates from as well. Okay. So what we'll do, like I said, I do my card readings. I say a prayer for myself. Mm-hmm. I say a prayer over the cards, and then I say a prayer over you. And then I pull 3 cards. Your first card is your first card is your past card. Mm-hmm. So anything that's already happened, it's your hindsight card. Like, oh, okay, bet I peeped that. Second card is your present card. What's going on now and what you can do moving forward if you continue with the choices that you've made thus far. Okay. Then you got your future card. Your future, like I said, is dependent upon the choices that you make. So based off where you're at now and what that card pulls is where you're headed. But just because you get a present card and it says something, you could do something later on today that changes the entire outcome of that. But it's just a matter of where you're at. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you not to dance around in spirit, because this is what I see. Like do you see me? Do you see me? Do you see me? Yes. Yes. Thank you. The first thing I saw is just somebody going, I wonder if she can see me doing this. Do you see me do? And I'm like, so you're just overly bubbly on the inside. Look, you just want to jump and fly, don't you? Like take off like fucking Superman.
Oh, that's funny. That's what I kind of visualized while I was trying to pray. It's me kind of bouncing around. That's too much.
Saw somebody going, the commercial berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. That's what I saw.
I can say I am kind of all over the place sometimes.
Look, don't be sorry about it, because that's you and your personality. What the hell are you sorry about? I'm not ever going to tell nobody, don't do that ratchet ass shit. If it make you happy and it gets you to where you need to go in life, baby, more power to you.
Since I can't bounce around too much with my physical body, my spiritual body might as well.
Your spiritual body can do a lot, okay? A lot. And then even in that, it could be doing so much that your physical body still ends up feeling that shit. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So remember, first card represents past what's already happened. It says, breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. So this card right here, the first thing that I see in this card is her breathing into the atmosphere. So I feel like a lot of what you have been doing is not only speaking things into existence just as far as projects and stuff go, but also being able to write that shit down and you seeing that shit pop. If this is what I wrote down, this is coming to fruition with no problem. And the fact of being able to be present and see that shit happening is what connection is it that I have that I've never had before? What is this that is causing for these things to come about so much? And it's because you recognize that that creation is in here first. It's not dependent on an outside source. It's not dependent on if I say a prayer to this. It's a matter of, I want this. And because I want this, I am now taking the baby steps, because it's been a whole bunch of fucking baby steps that got you to this point. But those baby steps made for some big ass steps, right? That's the card.
Okay.
So with that card, I definitely feel like because you are learning how to be more connected, not only are you expanded here in our universe, because this is just the Milky Way, right? There are 3 other universes that will come into play for you that you'll be able to tap into. Don't stop, okay? I don't give a fuck what a bitch say. Don't stop. Your second card represents present, represents what's going on now. It says Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. So I feel like this card plays into your wanting to find out about past lives. Everything that we go through in our souls, we're here for a lesson. Every time we incarnate here, we're here to check off motherfucking lessons. In this life, you've caught some big ass lessons, okay? Not just in, regular civilian life, but opening up to what the fuck is on the other side. Being able to delve into it and say, I want to learn more. I want to be able to grow in that. How can I grow in that? That enthusiasm and that curiosity is going to take you to many places, to many, many places. But it's a matter of, do you like repeating lessons? Or do you like getting the test? Okay, I fucked up on this. Go ahead, give me the test again, and I'm going to ace that motherfucker. Like, for real, how many lives you live past this life is dependent upon how frequently you repeat a motherfucking lesson.
Well, I was told this was my last life.
Do you feel that?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Learn everything you can so you could go up and then turn around and be a fucking guide and be like, look, I'm just your chauffeur. I'm not doing no earthbound shit. Okay. Not coming down there to mingle the earthlings. I'm going to be up here and I'm a guide from a distance. Do as much as you can in regards to opening and upgrading your chakras. I'm sure that wifey already works on these things with you, but start with your root chakra. Start with the lower ones. Tap into your Native American energies, and then build from there. Okay. The last card is your future card. It says, trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on, and trust that time is not running out. Despite what age you may be physically, your spirit does not line up to that same age. So there is not an expiration date to the work that you will put into life and that you will put into your soul and that you will put into your foundation and your legacy that you leave behind. Don't ever feel like you have wasted time with anything or anybody. All of that shit was fucking lessons. They were lessons. They weren't wasted time. They were lessons for me to catch on, to catch it, and then make do with the time that's given to me. Every day we have an opportunity to reset and do something different. Now it's a matter of, what am I doing with myself today? How am I going to increase my platform?
Awesome.
All three of these cards right here, do these cards make sense to you?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And that's all I ask, because I don't know shit about shit. So I ask that they make sense to you. And then I thank Spirit for giving me that confirmation to be able to give to you what you need to help you to continue to shine bright, baby. Okay. Because you just caught a glow all over you. Okay. Do you see that in the fucking camera?
You know, that's the second time I've heard that.
When things hit your soul on a level, it's like it's the best way I can explain it is a glow. My face will go from being one way, and then all of a sudden you'll see this illumination about it. And that's what happened. Keep motherfucking shining, okay?
Well, you know, I started on a spiritual path when I was young, but I got into a depression and then substance abuse. You know, I had been molested when I was, I don't want to say it was between 6 and 8. And I was on a self-destructive path.
Right.
And then hit about 25, I got back on a spiritual journey, and then lost my father, my brother, and my best friend, all to ending themselves. And I got mad at God. I got mad at everything.
Most definitely.
Right back
God wanted to kill that motherfucker. If I could put my hands on that motherfucker, I would have killed him.
Well, I've got really, really bad with the substance abuse, and then a heart attack at 36. And then right after the heart attack, my first wife ended up running off with a younger man. Then,
she was supposed to take the heart attack as a clue. Lock this in real good.
But the 10 years between the divorce, or should I say when she left and until I met my wife that I have now, I was very selfish, but it was something I think I needed to do because I'd lost myself for so long and I needed to get in touch with myself again. But then meeting Michelle, her encouragement got me back on a spiritual path, which is where I'm at right now. And it's one of the reasons why I do the shows that I do, is I'm trying to
Right.
help other people. My
All in talking while helping yourself.
right. And these it's like therapy for me. When I do the positivity show, it is therapy for me. My concerns have been, am I still too selfish because I want to be successful? I mean, because I want to be somebody. I want to make my own money again.
Right.
But I also I want to reach more people. I want to be able to help more people.
So the fact that you welcome spirit back into your life and welcome the help and opened yourself up to the knowledge of learning, that's going to happen. You are exactly where you need to be in regards to your growth and in regards to whether or not you made the bill. Okay. Don't ever feel like you failed the test, because there are many times that, you know, here living this experience, we tell spirit, I don't want none of this. I don't want this. Why I can't be like everybody else? Why I can't just, you know, move around life mindlessly, right? Why I can't, you know, have the experience and just be ratchet? Because you weren't meant to be ratchet. Although sometimes cards are dealt to us, that is a hard hand to motherfucking try to make it through a round on, okay? I'm not playing spades with these cards. How many books you got? 2? I ain't even got enough to make board in this bitch. But the thing is, it's knowing that even though I don't have enough, I'm going to take what I do have and I'm going to make it enough.
So do you see something is holding me back, or is it I still need to learn a few more lessons before I see the success?
I feel like success is coming. You're on a never-ending journey of learn. Okay, so don't ever feel like you're going to get to a point to where you're just going to be like, okay, this is the last one. Okay, cool, bet. That shit's not happening. Okay, sorry to bust your bubble. That's not happening. It's going to be ongoing training and learning in this session. But I definitely feel that being successful for you, if you don't see change by time February, March come, have you a session where, like, I don't know if your wife know any Reiki healers or anything like that, or if she even does Reiki herself, but I would say get with somebody who does Reiki. But I definitely feel like by the time these winter months is over, baby, you gonna boom. You gonna boom, boom. And it's just a matter of, are you ready to accept what's being required of you in that stance? Are you ready to make your vessel bigger to be able to hold more of a vibration? Because as we grow and learn on our spiritual journey, our vibration ticks up. We go from functioning on low level shit to now I'm just this high vibing bitch. Not saying I'm walking around smiling and cheesing all day talking about some peace and love, bitch. Because that's not what it is. Legit, even still being at that high vibration, you still got to deal with low vibrational type shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's still going to happen, and you're going to have to learn how to be able to transmute that shit. Because people are going to come and say, I don't understand why you feel like you could be cocky in this sense, because now you just seem like this was supposed to come to you. You're right. It was. It was supposed to come to me because I put in the work for it. Why can't I feel cocky about it?
Definitely put in the work. Believe me. For the last couple of years, the change is pretty incredible. I went from relying on other people to help me to, okay, I can do it myself now. I don't need the help. But between that and wanting to get in touch with my abilities,
Right.
it's been a journey. I still don't know what I'm supposed to do to start, making my abilities happen. But
So you said that you have a lot of clairaudience, correct? You hear them, right?
right.
Do you talk to them when you hear them?
And that's just it. It's been so long since it's happened. But when it happened,
Okay.
I just kind of thought it was something that my mind playing tricks on me.
Okay. So, an exercise that I can give you to start working on that is talk. Whenever you're sitting in a room, because sometimes you could be sitting there and all of a sudden you'll be like,
oh, it's been happening a lot lately.
In that moment, say hello.
Okay.
Who are you? And what do you need from me? Always ask, who are you?
Okay.
Always, always, always ask, who are you? And ask what it is that they need of you. After you get to that point, you should already start pulling things in. And it'll come like a thought on your brain, like an instantaneous thought. And that thought is not yours. That thought is coming from them. Okay. The moment you second guess it is the moment you take over. So, in that moment, whenever you feel that presence, I feel you here with me. Who are you and what do you need? Sit back and feel that.
Okay.
Sit back and take that in. Pay attention to how it is that you feel. Pay attention to any sensations you might feel on or around your body. And then start matching the puzzle pieces together. Speaking to spirit is like a big ass fucking puzzle.
Gotcha.
They give us the pieces. It's just a matter of us being able to listen to what it is that they're giving us and apply that shit.
Well, I have noticed lately, it seems like I'm feeling something touch me. And I, I didn't associate the two.
So you got to think in real life, in our realm here. If somebody's trying to get your attention, what are they gonna do? Excuse me. You hear me? Excuse me. Are you paying attention to me? Those things are very much what you tapping me for? What are you needing me to pay attention to right now in this moment? Evaluate everything, okay? You might have just heard some music playing in the background that reminds you of a certain person. And in that moment, what would he have said to you? Okay. Gotcha. And it's just that it's like honestly, it's just that simple. We are just having a conversation with them, but we have to listen with a different ear.
And I just felt something tugging at my ponytail.
Okay. Who's fucking with you?
Who is it?
Which bro is fucking with you and be like, I don't understand what the fuck you got this shit back here going for.
Well, several times my uncle has showed up. And mind you, I didn't know him real well. I only saw him a couple of times in my life because he spent most of his life in prison. And a few years ago, he died in prison.
Okay.
And I know one time he showed up, and I think I was still living near Houston when it happened, but my wife saw him. And she's like, who in your family is kind of heavy set and would been smoking and kind of, got that James Dean kind of attitude. And I was like, well, maybe my uncle. And she said, well, I keep getting the name and it started with the C, and she went through a few names, and I was like, Clifford? And as soon as I said Clifford, she said, oh, he's shaking his head yes.
Right.
Okay, why in the world is he here? You know, and she's like, oh, he just came by to say that he's proud of you and say hey, and that's all he wanted. And
I definitely feel like Uncle sees himself in you.
really?
And sees where he could have been in you. I feel like even though you didn't get a chance to know him, y'all personalities very much mirror each other. Very much so.
And I feel bad because there was one time he was out of prison and he was at my great grandparents' house. And all I ever heard was my dad and everybody talk bad about him. And so I thought I was not supposed to like him. And so I ended up cussing him out. I mean, I'm a little kid. What's a little kid doing cussing out somebody?
Right. Cussing out a grown folk and not getting their mouth popped.
Right. And he's like, well, if you don't stop, I'm going to tell your dad. And I'm like, I don't give a, you know.
Okay.
And
tell him.
He called my dad, and my dad gave me a lecture about it, but you could tell he didn't really care. But I feel really bad about that now. Like, you know, he lived the life he lived. He got in trouble. Apparently, he liked the prison life, so he didn't mind being there. But
some people function better.
Yeah, I think he
with
did.
That structure. That's sad to say, but some people don't know how to function in this type of life without having that constant, I need you here. I need you here. I need you here. I can't give you the option to do anything else, because if I give you the option to do something else, you're going to go completely off course.
Yeah. It's funny. I interviewed a guy the other day who's all the way in Nebraska, and his grandmother used to work at the same prison that my uncle was
at. Mm-hmm. So tell me that's not a motherfucking coinky motherfucking dick.
Isn't that weird? It's weird.
I don't feel like that's a fucking coinky dink. I felt like that was I need to find you, and how do I get in contact with you? I know that there is somebody in this world that can hear me, right, and that can tell you what it is that I've been wanting to tell you forever so long.
Well, every message that I get is him saying that he's proud of the person that I've become, and that basically he's glad I'm not the way I used to be.
Right, because you got to think of where the fuck you was at beforehand.
Oh my God.
And how much he was like, that's me. That me all over again. You just repeated a whole generational cycle and didn't even realize that's what the fuck was going on.
That's funny you say that, because I told myself I was going to be the person that was going to end that cycle of what was going on in my family. My grandfather was an alcoholic. He looked just like Hank Williams, you know, senior. And him and my dad got into it a lot.
Right.
My dad walked out the door. My grandpa picked up a shotgun and shot him. My dad had scars on his back from when it happened.
Right. And, that's crazy. But yes, most definitely, a lot of us here, especially a lot of people who are gifted and who are coming into their gifts and being able to know, we are those generational curse breakers. We're meant to reset the balance. We're meant to reset what our greats was trying to build from the beginning. That fact of you want that old school love. I don't want this new age shit. I want what they had back in the Great Depression, out here making 14, 15 motherfucking babies and shit.
Yep.
I want that. And that's not by chance. That's not by chance. It's because you've seen those lessons. You've seen the hurt that comes from it. You've seen the roughness that comes from it. But you've also seen the positivity of where things can be, there's also a glow in you that says, this don't have to be us. This can be us. How do we make it to this? How do I start building that foundation? How do I start building that motherfucking legacy? Okay.
And you know, and even though my dad was an alcoholic, he had epilepsy. That's why he didn't drink. But he was mentally abusive. He had been physically abusive as well. But he didn't come to one of my ball games. He never came to one of my school functions. He didn't come to my graduation. Nothing. He was absentee the whole time. And I said I wasn't going to be that. I started out that way,
right.
But I changed my life, and now I'm all about family. I spend as much time with my family as I can, and that's why I said, and you know, my dad ended his life, and I said I wasn't going to be that same person.
Right. I'm not going to regret the life that I've lived and what I've done, no matter how many mistakes I've made. Right. No matter how many. What's so crazy is my dad was an alcoholic as well. From the time I can remember to the time my dad passed away, he always kept a half pint of Aristocrat gin and a Keystone sitting on the side, ready to finish it off every day of his life. So much to the point there were many times my mom would take the gin bottle and she'd pour out the gin and she'd put a little line on it and she'd fill it back up with water and then put it back where he had it. It pissed him the fuck off. It completely pissed him off. But the reason my dad drank is because his dad wasn't involved in his life. And because he felt like, what is it that I did that you wouldn't want me? Yeah. That you wouldn't want to know about me, that you wouldn't want to be involved with me. He drank because he was trying to fill a hole that couldn't be filled.
Yeah.
And me growing up, seeing that, I didn't drink. I don't want to drink. Look at Dad. Look what the fuck this man's doing. He's running around itching his ass and shit. I don't want to do any of this. It took me till I was 21. The first time I officially drank was when I was 21. My sister tried taking me to a bar when I turned 18. And she was like, here, get this wine cooler. You'll be cool. I drank about that much. Out of that, I was like, it tastes like liquor. And I threw it away. But when I turned 21, I was like, fuck that. I'm old enough. Look, I'm old enough to drink and I should be able to drink responsibly. But in doing that, I realized how out of control I was, because now at this point, I'm feeling myself. I'm the baddest bitch popping and I could take any one of these motherfuckers and go have my way and do whatever, right? But that's not what the fuck I was supposed to be doing with my life. I was not supposed to be mingling with people in that way. Yes, I'm meant to talk to people. Yes, I'm meant to connect with people, but not in that way. And it came to a point right around 24, 25 is when I feel everybody has their experiences and shit kind of flips. Everything changed and I was like, you know what? I really don't care to be in that state when I go drink. I really don't too much care for that. It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel sad on the inside. Like I can't go out and be myself. And so all of that shit started slowing down. My friends was like, bitch, you act like you can't come hang out. You act like you old or something. No, I'm not old, but I just see life a whole lot differently. And what I can't do is act like I don't know better. Because if I know better, I have to take action and I have to do better.
Well, this turned out to be a therapy session.
Look, do you feel therapized? Okay. Do you feel a little better than how you came walking in?
Yeah, I do. I have to say, I was getting ready to do the interview and it's been a long day. I was tired, but I feel a little more energized.
I do too, because I definitely getting ready to plan for this because I thought it was yesterday, and I was like, nah, they moved it from yesterday. They're gonna have it on Thursday. They're gonna have it on Thursday. So it racked my brain all day. But then something told me, first off, bitch, I don't even understand why you stressing stuff because you don't never follow any script or anything. You just go and that shit fucking works. What are you stressing about? I don't know. What if I say the wrong thing? Bitch, shut up and go out there and talk. It's the conversation I'm having within me prior to coming here. I was ever so tired. I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm not ready. And something told me, baby, you don't really have a choice. You're awake. We have messages for you to drop off, baby. Get up, get yourself together so you can get ready to talk to these people and drop these gems on their ass, okay?
You've definitely helped me. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Look, thank hugs. You. I can't give hugs, but I can give energetic hugs. I love energetic hugs because they are definitely felt and they are definitely needed, especially with fucking COVID. I don't want to fucking shake your hand. Give me a hug so you can feel this energy and you can get your ass to feeling better.
That is a negative power that's been trying to separate us for the last few years. And
okay.
I'm not falling in with it. When I go to the grocery store, I don't want to go to the self-checkout. I want to go see the cashier, and
I want a person because I want to talk to you.
Exactly.
How has your day been? It's been a little crappy. Let me make it better. Have you ever did you?
You know, I love having my grandson with me because he's very outgoing. He says hi to everybody, and it helps to strike up conversations with somebody I've never met before. And
right.
I love that. I love being able to talk to people and, you know, prove them people on the internet, on social media, that they're full of garbage.
Look, I think you are on the way to finding your purpose and what you need to be doing. Okay. Don't let it pass you up.
I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. So, what is your website?
So I am currently on www.divinegateway.com. So this website is based out of the UK. There are UK prices on there because I'm collaborating with somebody from the UK. Okay. But all of those prices on there can be converted to US prices. But I'm also on Facebook as well under Earth Angel Shantae. So look me up. You're going to see this pretty little smile sitting over here like this. Hey. All of my services that I offer on there, not just the spiritual services, but also the life coaching and the health coaching services as well. All of that stuff is posted on there and the prices are US funded.
So who are you working with over there?
Her name is Karina Collins. I have a couple of international contacts. I have Karina, I have Leslie Shepard, and she is the co-founder. Well, not the co-founder, she's the founder of Starseed Sisters and Brothers. That is a group on Facebook. So for people who are looking to get themselves into a development program in regards to spirit, that's where I started. Back in 2015, I started with Leslie, and I've been with her ever since. And it's been a fucking journey the whole entire time. So out of the UK, those are my two people in the UK. And then I have a lady named Yvette Polton, and she's in the Philippines. I got a Filipino contact.
Oh, wow.
So she is there, and Miss Yvette was the person who found me when I first started getting on Facebook, trying to figure out, okay, what kind of groups can I get into? Where can I go to find out who the fuck I am and what the fuck I am? She found me and said, are you looking for a spiritual group? Bitch, how did you know I was looking for a spiritual group? Yes. She was like, honey, She said, you have a light about you that shines.
Yes, you
For
do.
miles and miles and miles. She said, I saw your light and I could tell that you needed to have that guidance. If you will allow me, let me help you get you to where you're going. And she's been with me ever since.
Wow. You definitely have that something about you. Definitely do. I'm so glad that we got to talk. And
I am too.
I want to stay in touch with you.
You helped knock some nerves off of me. It's been a while since I did a podcast. So you helped me remember why I do these things and why it's such a blessing to be able to do these with so many different people and just give that experience. So everybody who's out there listening, first off, thank y'all. Thank y'all for making it to this point of his podcast. Okay. You listen to all of our shit all the way through, baby. You the motherfucking MVP. Okay?
Right. Well, number one, I want to stay in touch with you. And number two, if you would, could you send me all your links so I can put them in the description and make it easy for folks so they can just click on it and go to it?
I sure can. I have a digital business card with all of my links on it. I will make sure you get that.
Oh, how much are those things?
It's free. You better not go to no motherfucking website and pay not a dime for a digital motherfucking business card. Do you understand me?
Where do you get that?
I'm going to send you the app. I'm going to send it to you because we're friends on Messenger, right? We've messaged each other, right?
I'm not sure if we have.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. I'll make sure that you get that information. It's free. Whatever I got that'll be able to help you get to doing some more stuff, I got you.
Okay. Well, you have my email.
Yes.
And just if you send me all those links, I'm gonna make sure we're connected on social media and all that. And I definitely want to introduce you to my wife too.
Thank you. Look, because I'm ready. Tell her I'm ready to talk. Tell her if she's trying to travel to a couple different galaxies, galaxy number 19, okay? Tell her I'm with the shits.
She's going to love you, I guarantee you. But thank you so much for coming on my show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for asking, and thank you for us having the patience, even though we've had a lot go on in between that first original time asking and now. Thank you for still reaching out and still wanting me to be a part. I overly appreciate it.
Well, it's really been my honor and my pleasure to do so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also want to thank all of you out there. If you happen by here and this is your first time, I really do appreciate it. I do. And I hope you'll come back. Please subscribe. For my regulars out there, your support means everything to me. It's because of you I get to do this.
Okay.
How many people get to talk to psychics and, you know, all the wonderful people that come across my show.
And you learn something from it. You gain something from it. From every experience, from every conversation, you are getting something that is bettering your soul and your life here. Right. And what's better?
Yeah. And as always, until the next time, everyone, please take care. Be kind to one another. God bless and peace.
Poor boy.